Particularly in the realm of celebrities, rumors have a peculiar way of taking on a life of their own. It only takes a casual remark, a misinterpreted social media post, or even a chance moment to turn into a major headline. Fans and rumor watchers alike have been asking the same topic lately, often in hushed tones. Does Keith Urban live with Karley Scott Collins? The question has a dramatic, startling, and alluring quality. However, the truth is much more complex than the rumors indicate, as is the case with many celebrity rumors. We must calm down, disentangle our imagination from the facts, and consider the wider picture in order to comprehend the origins of this rumor, the reasons behind its spread, and the actual nature of the truth. Keith Urban, the man at the heart of the storm. Keith Urban is more than just another well-known figure. His career has spanned decades, continents, and innumerable chart-topping tunes, making him a global music giant. Urban's life has mostly been seen by the public, from his early years as an aspirational musician who left Australia for Nashville to becoming one of the most renowned country musicians of his generation. Keith Urban has always been cautious about one thing though, despite his notoriety: his personal life. Fans have long praised not just his music, but also the humility and self-control with which he has handled celebrity. Rumors concerning his private life, therefore, frequently elicit strong emotions. Not only do people want to know what is going on, but they also want to know how, why, and whether it affects the man they believe they know. Karley Scott Collins. Who is he? Karley Scott Collins is not, at least not yet, as well known throughout the world as Keith Urban. She is regarded as a budding artist who is becoming more and more visible in the music and internet entertainment industries. Her genuineness, contemporary artistic voice, and affinity for younger audiences that value unadulterated creativity over slick celebrity branding are what make her appealing. Karley Scott Collins is an example of a new generation of artists who are creatively independent, proficient with technology, and frequently misinterpreted by conventional celebrity culture. When her name starts to be linked to someone as well known as Keith Urban, that distinction alone is enough to spark rumors. However, this is where things start to become hazy. A personal or household relationship is not always implied by being referenced in the same online conversations or even working in overlapping creative industries. However, in the era of social media, closeness, even imagined closeness, is sometimes confused with intimacy. How the rumor started: there was no official declaration, leaked photo, or verified information to start the rumor. Rather, it seems to have originated from online conjecture, which is the most prevalent source of contemporary celebrity rumors. Some people on social media started to ask questions. Theories were added by others. There may have been no patterns at all, yet some fans saw them. Eventually, the notion that Keith Urban could be living with Karley Scott Collins started making the rounds as though it were common knowledge. One thing, however, is evident when we look closely at the beginnings. There are no reliable reports indicating that Keith Urban and Karley Scott Collins are cohabitating. The assertion is unsupported by any confirmed sightings or photos. Neither party has made any remarks that would imply a romantic or domestic relationship. Instead, we see a well-known phenomenon: curiosity heightened by repetition. The influence of conjecture in celebrity culture. Unanswered questions are the foundation of celebrity culture. There is greater room for creativity to fill in the blanks when there is less information accessible. Fans are human because of this, not because they are evil. Stories that seem unexpected or emotionally intense captivate people by nature. The notion of a well-known musician leading a covert life appeals to people's intense interest in hidden histories. It has a cinematic vibe. It seems dramatic. Something significant seems to be taking place. Frequently, however, nothing occurs at all. In echo chambers, such as fan forums, comment sections, and short-form films, where repetition can seem like confirmation, speculation gains especially potent momentum. It gradually changes from "could this be true?" to "why isn't anyone talking about this?" What about the marriage of Keith Urban? Keith Urban's marriage to Nicole Kidman always comes up when talking about his personal life. After several years of marriage, Keith Urban and Nicole Kidman have a family and a life together. They have frequently been regarded as one of the entertainment industry's more stable and long-lasting alliances. They have previously discussed love, dedication, difficulties, and development in an honest and respectful manner. Crucially, there hasn't been any official proof of a breakup or change in lifestyle to back up rumors that Keith Urban lives with someone else. Celebrity weddings can still be difficult, but responsible fandom and reporting depend on factual knowledge rather than conjecture. The reason Karley Scott Collins was featured in the story Karley Scott Collins, then, why? Rumors frequently target people who are innovative and easily accessible on the internet, a component of the same large industry, less well-known or younger enough mystery to encourage interpretation. That description applies to Karley Scott Collins. Her increasing creative prominence and relative privacy make her a prime candidate for conjecture. It doesn't take much creativity to convert happenstance into conspiracy when viewers are already intrigued. However, being discussed does not equate to participation. What the evidence really indicates, the data is remarkably straightforward when emotion, theory, and internet noise are removed. Keith Urban keeps up a public and professional persona that is in line with his established reputation. Karley Scott Collins is still concentrating on her artistic endeavors without any concrete connection to Keith Urban other than conjecture. There isn't a single verifiable story about them living together in any respectable media outlet. No reputable first-hand sources have come forward with evidence. Lack of evidence is important in journalism, particularly when a claim would be noteworthy if accurate. Why it seems like these rumors are true, it's worth considering why, in the absence of evidence, people believe such tales. Storytelling holds the key to the solution. Movies, songs, reality TV, and viral videos are all examples of the narratives that permeate our culture. We've been trained to anticipate surprises. The thought of a hidden drama seems nearly more real than reality when things are tranquil or stable. From the outside, Keith Urban's life seems stable. Karley Scott Collins stands for something novel and unidentified. When you combine those components, people start to envision a story arc, even if there isn't one. Unverified stories' emotional cost rumors may seem innocuous, but they can have serious repercussions. Constant conjecture can be intrusive and draining for those affected. Believing unconfirmed stories might skew fans' perceptions, cause disappointment, or result in incorrect judgment. The deterioration of truth is a more general problem at hand. Speculation can start to obscure facts if it is repeated frequently enough. For this reason, it is more crucial to question, is this confirmed? Rather than, is this interesting? Is Keith Urban and Karley Scott Collins living together then? The answer is obvious. No, based on all that is known, provable, and reliable. There is no proof that Karley Scott Collins and Keith Urban share a residence. The rumor seems to be more the result of internet conjecture than fact. There is no indication of a shared household life or love relationship, despite the fact that both people are creative individuals with their own pathways. Why the truth is more important, even though it frequently feels less exciting, shock value isn't usually associated with the truth. It is not as popular. It doesn't start a never-ending comment section. Its integrity, however, is significantly more significant. Celebrity stories that are grounded in respect, for truth, for privacy, and for the humanity of those involved, are the most captivating. Keith Urban continues to navigate stardom on his own terms as a public figure, artist, and husband. Karley Scott Collins is still developing her career as a creative person. For their lives to have purpose, they don't have to drastically intersect. A concluding thought: it takes insight to choose patience over panic in a time where rumors spread more quickly than facts. Not all open-ended questions conceal secrets. Not all coincidental events indicate a scandal. Sometimes the reality is just that people are going about their lives, quietly, apart, and without the drama that other people try to put on them. We should all pay more attention before accepting the loudest story in the room. Perhaps that's more than simply the truth about Keith Urban and Karley Scott Collins.